G'day, my name is Jason Belmonte, and this message goes to all the bowlers competing today in the finale, the major championship, all fighting for the coveted trophy pin on the Prodigy Bowlers Tour. Good luck, and I'm looking forward to watching the show on the internet as soon as you guys are done.
We didn't want it to be too easy for these kids today, and I wanted to really test their shot-making ability, so they've bowled all day on red square, a 40-foot flat oil pattern where it's a 1-to-1 ratio all the way across the lane. Oh! Watch this. Watch how close he got. Oh, man, that was close. Frustrating. But now his lead is down to 7, and Peyton has a strike up in the 9th. Oh, no! He knows he's in trouble now. Oh, gracious me. Oh, and he makes a great attempt at it. But the 4 remains, and so he opens in the 10th. Peyton just needs to fill 17 pins in the 10th frame, and he will win the coveted trophy pin. Christian's taking his shoes off. He finishes with 3 opens. He thinks he's lost. He's putting his sneakers back on. Christian. Peyton has 4 open frames this game. Nothing is a certainty. Peyton needs to mark, and he can put an end to this. But he leaves the washout. Knowing Peyton, he'll play this down the left side of the lane, throw it pretty straight. And we'll watch him from behind and from in front while we keep an eye on Christian. He's already put his shoes on to head home. Oh, no! Not so fast, Christian. Peyton has just handed him game 2 to even the match at 1 game apiece.
So, we have a situation.
Each player has won 1 game in this championship match. And now we will go to a 9th and 10th frame. Christian's putting his bowling shoes back on. Yeah, lace them up, buddy. You're not done just yet. We will bowl a 9th and 10th.
You're up on the left lane.
Christian will start on the left lane.
On the left lane? You are on the left lane. You'll bowl 1 frame, and then he will bowl the 9th and 10th.
You see on the score sheet, each player has 1 next to their name. That means each one has won 1 game. This is going to decide it. If we are tied after the 9th and 10th frame roll-off, we'll go to single ball roll-off. This is for the coveted trophy pin. Oh, man. That was so close to being a 4-6-7. Christian looked like he was hopelessly lost, confused by the oil pattern in that second game, and then he scratched and clawed his way into a lead that he squandered. When he sat down after the 10th frame, he was trailing, and all Peyton needed was a mark. But here we are in this roll-off, and Christian spares in the 1st frame. This is just like bowling the 9th and 10th. So now Peyton. He will bowl the 9th on the right lane, the 10th on the left, and then it'll be up to Christian. And look at this. Peyton dispenses with all attempts to throw a hook ball, and he just goes with the frozen rope. How very old school of him. That's like what Dick Weber did back in the 50s and 60s when the lanes were completely chewed up. You just go with the high hard one, just frozen rope to the pocket. But he chops the 5 off the 9. Unbelievable. A spare you would expect Peyton to make 99 times out of 100. He chops it here. And that hands Christian an 11-pin lead with just 1 frame left in this 9th and 10th frame roll-off that will decide who wins the coveted trophy pin. He can shoot 39 with 3 strikes. There's the first one. He'd love to get another one right here. No, but it breaks high. Now it's important for him to make this. By making this and shooting 29, he'll force Christian to mark. Okay, if he'd gone 9 out, he'd have finished with 28. Christian could have been spared the indignity of opening and losing. If he had gone 9 open, he too would have shot 28. But Peyton's spare forces Christian's hand. He must mark and get any kind of reasonable count. A spare will do. Oh no! The 2-8-10. As he slams the seat, throws down his rosin bag. I don't blame you, Christian. I'd be upset too. He's just going to throw this as hard as he can. And it's over.
Good match, guys.
Peyton Smith has won the coveted trophy pin in heart-stopping fashion. And he gives Christian a hug, and oh man, he needs a hug right now. Now in its 10th season, it's Prodigy Bowlers Tour, celebrating junior bowling and elevating junior bowlers. Today, episode 199, the 2025 Kansas City Open November Point Tournament. 5 players have advanced to the TV finals, but only 1 can leave with the Division II championship. Here are the 5 finalists. In the opening match, the 5th qualifier, Liliana Gentlemark of Kansas City, Missouri, will face the 4th qualifier, Layla Gonzalez of Shawnee, Kansas. The winner will advance to challenge the 3 seed, Lane Gosser of Baldwin City, Kansas. That winner will meet the number 2 qualifier, Xander Yim of Columbia, Missouri. And the winner of that match will bowl for the title against Caleb Standridge of Peculiar, Missouri. He's our tournament leader. One of these 5 promising young talents will claim the Division II championship and will sign the coveted trophy pin today on Prodigy Bowlers Tour. About 40 miles west of Olathe, Kansas, and the southwesternmost parts of the Kansas City metro, sits the little college town of Lawrence, Kansas, home of the KU Jayhawks, Rock Chalk, and home of Royal Crest Lanes, our host venue for the 2025 KCO November Point Tournament. As always, the Kansas City Open features 5 average base divisions. Today, we're bringing you the Stepladder finals in Division II, the players with averages of 180 through 199. Handicaps are 90% of the difference between a player's entering average and the top of their division, which in this case is 199. An interesting field today, as we'll open with a match between two of the most promising girl bowlers we have in the Kansas City area, in Liliana Gentlemark and Layla Gonzalez. Wait till you see these two go at it. And then here come the boys, starting with Lane Gosser, who's making his third appearance on Prodigy today, but is still looking to win his first match in front of Prodigy viewers. Then we have Xander Yim seeded second. Xander is coming off a win last month in Gladstone in Division 4. He got re-rated up 2 divisions, but it hasn't slowed him down one bit. Here he is in contention once again. And finally, our tournament leader, Caleb Standridge, who's awaiting the survivor of those first 3 matches. Caleb stands 1 game away from winning a KCO title in Division 2 in his very first appearance on Prodigy Bowlers Tour. Can he get it done? Well, we're about 90 minutes away from finding out. This month, Division 2 was our largest division with 29 contestants. In our next episode on Prodigy, you'll see the Division 1 group. Right now, let's take a look at how the qualifying round shook out in Division 2. Of course, you already know who made the top 5. There's our alternate Kaylin Parkhurst in 6th. Leah Wilson in 9th. This was a home game for her. There's Logan Crosswhite. He finished 15th. Kaylin Melvin in 16th. She's another strong up-and-comer. Jake Eastland in 18th. We'll get him on the show sooner or later. There's Caleb Montague in 20th. Our buddy Josiah Starr in 24th. Multiple-time champion Grace Ryder in 25th. And Cortland Worrell bringing up the rear this time, but I know he'll be back with his dog Luca. And here's how our stepladder lays out today with the 2 girls. The 5-seed Liliana Gentlemark taking on the 4-seed Layla Gonzalez in match 1. And then the winner keeps advancing as long as they keep winning, with our tournament leader waiting in the wings to see who he'll meet for the title. But right now, let's raise the curtain on match 1. Liliana Gentlemark and Layla Gonzalez. These girls have 2 of the very best games you'll see from the Kansas City area female youth bowlers. These 2 girls pretty evenly matched. Layla is 18 years old. Liliana 17. They both started bowling as little kids. Layla pulls the first one and carries a Brooklyn strike. Now, as you can see, there is a bit of an average discrepancy, and that is made up for by their handicap. Liliana getting 17 pins of handicap, Layla getting 2. So Layla is spotting Liliana 15 pins. Liliana comes up high on that one. Lucky she didn't leave a split. Just the 6-pin, routine spare. Liliana a winner in Gladstone a year ago on Prodigy. Layla has never won on Prodigy, but both of these girls have won KCOs before. And there's a spare, so both players start the match with a mark. Now the players to our left, that's Division 4. The players to our right, there's Kanan Duncan. That's Division 5. We will recap how their stepladders play out when we get to the end of the show today. Ooh, right through the heart of the pins. Liliana leaves a wide open split. The 6, 7, 10. Here's how you make it. Put the ball way over on the right edge of the lane and slide the 6 into the 7. It's been done on Prodigy a few times. Here's Tristan Davis doing it a few years ago. Oh, man, what a shot! And Christian Manel was shocked. Liliana would love to repeat it here. But no, she takes the count instead. And I suppose early in the match, that's not a bad strategy. Rather than risk losing count early. Both of these girls have one thing in common. They have beautiful, straight arm swings. Straight back, straight through. Layla didn't get all of that one at the bottom of the swing. And she leaves the 1-3-9. A little easier spare for a left-hander than a right-hander, I would say. Just put the ball on the right side of the head pin and you'll take care of it. And just like that. So that 15-pin edge that Liliana had early, squandered by that open frame, and now the difference in the match, just one pin. Well, Layla pulled another one, this time crossing over, leaving the 5-pin as the spectators in the gallery all throw their right hand up. But she takes care of an easy spare easily. And now Liliana, who says she wants to be a pro bowler someday. Now watch her arm swing. Also nice and straight. Straight back, straight through. Kind of let up on the speed that time, and it hooked high, nearly crossing over. Leaves just the 10-pin. She'll move to the left side of the approach and go cross lane at it. For you beginners, you get a corner pin, the best thing to do is move to the other side of the lane to shoot it, just like Liliana showed you. Now she says her favorite pro bowler is Packy. We get a lot of that here in the Kansas City area since he's down in Wichita. Not too far from here. About a 3-hour drive or so. There, she stuffed that one. Made just the right adjustment. Watch this one. 4-step approach. That foot perpendicular to the foul line. Nice and solid at the line. Good balance. The ball finishes behind the 8 and 9. That's just the way you draw it up. That's a better shot by Layla. It just didn't quite finish the way she wanted. So the 7-pin remains. The 4-pin didn't quite do its job to kick out the 7. But she's an excellent spare shooter. And she makes short work of the 7-pin. Well, when you have that nice straight arm swing, makes it a lot easier to hit what you're looking at and be consistent. But she keeps pulling the ball for some reason. Crosses over that time, just barely got the head pin on the right side. Leaves just the 2-pin. I think we might see what's going on for Layla. There you see it at release. You see how her left shoulder has passed her right shoulder. You can tell because her right arm is behind her back. Anytime your bowling shoulder passes your non-bowling shoulder, you're going to pull the shot. And that's what's happening. It may be that she's pulling it down from the top. You want to let gravity initiate the downswing and don't pull it down from the top. She covers the spare, though. Stays clean. But Liliana continues to own a 4-pin lead. And now she has a strike working, so with ball in hand, she definitely has the advantage here. But she comes up a little high and leaves the 4, so she's not able to exploit the strike that she had up working. But she doesn't lose any count because she was on a strike. She'll make short work of this. No problem. Well, when I asked her how she got started bowling, she said, "No, we were just looking for something to do." So they went bowling one day. And she decided, I kind of like this. Turns out she has a knack for it. And she's been a regular on the KCO circuit for as long as I've been here. That one comes up high once again. Broke up the split, leaves just the 4-7. Another routine spare. Tell you what, one of the secrets to being a good spare shooter is leaving easy spares. And this one should pose no major challenge. She goes straight at it, takes care of it. And now Layla Gonzalez, who says she wants to be a chiropractor one day. As she cricked and cracked the pins into submission that time. Gets the light shaker to go. Take another look at it. She stayed behind the ball a little better that time. Lifted straight through it rather than going around it. That helps the ball go through the pins, penetrate with less deflection, and you get better pin action. And another one. And we have our first double of the day. Layla also a 4-stepper, more of a planter than a slider. But that was solid in the pocket. All right, Lily, it's go time. And she stuffs one. I tell you what, I think there's 3 girls that bowl regularly with the KCO that I think are, well, the ones that I would pick as the biggest potential stars among the girls. You're watching 2 of them. The third one is a little younger, so she's got a little ways to catch up. But Kaylin Melvin is that third one. She's got a much advanced game for her age, but she still has some growing to do, and look out for her when she gets a little older, a little bigger. Well, you see Liliana got her right shoulder ahead of her left. See how her left arm is behind her back? And that's the pull. See it all the time when the ball goes left of target for a right-hander or right of target for a left-hander. It's usually because they pulled the ball down from the top of the swing. Oh, no. She chops the 3 off the 6, and that'll hurt. And now Layla's lead is 20 as they're running out of frames. Can't be making mistakes like that. Pretty good shot by Layla. Just didn't quite make the corner at the end. So the ball deflected just a little bit going through the pins. She might have thrown that one a little bit harder than she had some others, and so it didn't get into quite as good a roll, but she doesn't miss many 7 pins. She takes care of that one too. Well, when I asked Layla how she got started bowling, I kind of knew the answer, but her parents are bowlers, both actively involved in her game and the games of her sisters, Bella and Kiera. Right back on target with that one. That might have been her best shot of the match so far. Foot perpendicular to the foul line in good balance. And there was never a doubt about that one. As soon as it came off her hand, that looked like it was going to be a strike. That's a big strike right there. Liliana can now strike out for 209. Layla going at a 208 pace. So this is anybody's match. Pretty good release on this one. I think she has a strong game. For someone who is as slightly built as she is, she puts a strong roll on it. A little too strong that time, as that one hooks high and through the nose, and now she's in trouble. An 8 count. This is what she chopped a little while ago. She took the 3 off the 6. She needs to make it this time. Oh, look out. I'll see you later. She just handed the match to Layla. Well, you win some, you lose some. Layla gets the love tap on the 7. And that brings a smile. So she's going to be moving on to match 2. As we see this shot again. Watch the 4-pin. That's the second one from the left. It'll go into the gutter and just give a little tap to the 7. Another one. Oh, no. That ball finished a little too strong. She leaves the stone 8. So she's going to shoot 217 with a conversion here. Oh, she knew that was going to miss left as soon as it came off her hand. But it doesn't matter. 216 to 175. It's Layla Gonzalez who's moving on to match 2. Next up, her opponent will be Lane Gosser when we return. Surprisingly, less than a quarter of you watching Prodigy right now are actually subscribed to the channel. Did you know that by not subscribing, you keep us from growing the channel? Take a moment right now and smash that subscribe button. Ring the notification bell so you'll receive a notification whenever we post a new video. That way, you won't miss anything. Leave a comment down below. We just ask that you not post any spoilers. You know, comments that give away the ending. This kind of engagement, viewers hitting the like button, subscribing, and leaving comments, goes a long way toward getting YouTube's algorithm to serve up our videos to more like-minded viewers like you. Oh, and be sure to share the video with everyone you know on your social media feeds. Send the link to your friends, especially your bowling friends. And tell the folks at your local bowling center to play Prodigy in the center or in the pro shop. Most folks in the bowling business enjoy Prodigy once they've seen it, but if they don't know about it, they won't watch. Help us grow Prodigy by spreading the word about the show. And thanks to you for being a loyal viewer of Prodigy Bowlers Tour. Well, the final score might not look like it, but that match actually did come down to the 10th frame. Had Liliana struck out in the 10th, she'd have forced Layla to get the first strike. But when Liliana was unable to get her first strike, well, that pretty much put an end to any hopes for a last-minute comeback. I think Liliana would be the first to admit it wasn't her best performance, but she's too talented to be held down for long. I'm sure we'll see her again on Prodigy. But meanwhile, Layla Gonzalez finished strong with 4 strikes in her last 5 frames, and she now looks like she's lined up and ready to take on all comers. And next up in match 2 is our number 3 qualifier, Lane Gosser. Both of these 2 competitors have tasted victory before at the KCO, and they both started bowling when they were little kids. Layla started when she was 5. Lane started when he was 2. So it seems like they've both been raised to flourish in this environment. Lane's grandfather actually owns a bowling alley, so he can bowl anytime he wants. And when you're a well-practiced player, you throw a lot of shots like that. He's smooth, too, I tell you. Tiny little first step, 5 steps in all. Nice slide, about the second arrow. Little down and in shot. And just plows him over. All right, Layla, you may have your hands full this match. But I tell you what, if she throws enough shots like that, she'll be a tough out. I've watched Layla and her 2 sisters practically grow up in our youth program at Olathe Lanes East for the last 3 or 4 years that I've been coaching there, and she is a talent. And she starts with a double. See it again. 4-step approach. She is very smooth through the release. Good balance. All the things you look for. Oh, Lane, just a pinch high, but trips the 4. And you know, he's got to love that one. It'll be the 2-pin that slips between the 4 and 7. Watch for it. The 2 is the 3rd one from the left. It'll go to the left wall and kick back and trip the 4. How about that? Let's take another look at that shot from ground level. See his footwork. 5-step approach. over about 11 or 12 at the arrows that time. Just straight up 11 or 12. Doesn't belly it out to the right at all. Just a down and in shot. And Layla pulled that one a little bit. Leaves the 2-4. She moves to the right side of the approach to go cross lane at it. That's the way to shoot it. And it's a good thing she did. She came close to chopping it, but a successful spare conversion. But she's spotting lane, 14 pins in handicap, and he started with a turkey, so she needs to get busy. And she does. Now with 3 strikes in 4 frames. The one time Layla was on Prodigy before, she bowled okay, but she couldn't carry to save her life that day. Today, different story. Bowling well, the pins are cooperating. But looky here, Lane Gosser, all he does is strike. Tell you what, here's a look at him about a year and a half ago when he was on the show. Synced up at the release. He's made some improvements. I see his shoulders and his left arm are participating in the swing more now than they were back then. That makes power come a lot easier. Boy, he pulled that one, though. And lucky he doesn't leave a split. The 6-10. He smartly moves to the left side of the approach to shoot it. And covers it. Lane is 15. Layla is 18 and in her final year of eligibility as a youth bowler. She will be off to college next fall. Well, it just didn't quite make the corner. She leaves the 7. We've already seen her shoot this 2 or 3 times. She hasn't even come close to missing one. And she makes it easily once again. Well, Layla's career high score, 287. High series, 739. And I imagine she will top those numbers sooner rather than later, especially if she keeps throwing shots like this. Watch the pins just explode when the ball gets there. Boom. That ball had no deflection. That's what you're looking for. Oh, boy. Well, Lane let that one get away wide. And he doesn't quite have the rev rate to get the ball to recover. Here's a form of the washout. The 1-2-7-10. Put the ball on the 1-2. Throw that 1 pin over into the 10. The ball should deflect over into the 7. How about that one? He's a trick shot artist. Watch it again. These are always fun to see. He had all 3 corners up, the 1, 7, and 10. You know, the 1-10 sits just as far apart, the pins do, as the 7-10. And then he comes right back with a solid strike. And the lead is 30. Watch this one again. He's going to go right up about the second arrow. I guess he hits about 11. It's about 11 at the tracers as well. So he's not swinging the ball out to the right at all. That is old school, down and in. And Layla comes up a little thin that time. And now she leaves the baby split, although this is the right-hander's baby split, which is decidedly easier for a left-hander because she's hooking into it. She'll just hit the right side of the 3-pin. The ball will deflect into the 10. And she makes it look easy. Good shot. Watch it again. A right-hander would be hooking the ball from right to left unless he threw a backup. But this is how you do it right here. Good shot. I don't think she liked that one when she let it go. Her body language suggested that she was worried about that one. Watch her. She's not sure about it. That was a great shot. Got the light shaker. Put a smile on your face, Layla. Well, Lane fell off balance that time. That was not his best. It crosses over. He gets away with it, gets the strike. But watch this. See how the ball is a good ways from his ankle and his elbow is out away from his body. He pulled it right shoulder past the left. We've seen that a few times today. He falls off balance to the right. Nothing really worked the way he'd planned it that time, but he gets away with it like a golfer hitting his tee shot into the next fairway. Boy, he came back with a great shot to follow it up, though. So he's just thinking to himself, no harm, no foul. Got away with a strike on his bad shot. Sandwiched it between two great shots. You can't do it any better than this one. And now his lead is 50. Layla's got to strike out. Well, there's that pesky 7-pin again. So let's do the math. She makes this. She can still shoot 220. Lane is sitting at 220 right now if he doesn't throw another ball. So Layla needs to strike out and hope Lane fouls twice in the 10th frame. Well, there's the first strike she needed. The minute she doesn't strike, if she doesn't strike, she loses. Watch this. Oh, that's the 6-pin that comes back and gets the 8. That's crazy. Gotta have it. She's still in it. I mean, it's unlikely that she would win even if she does strike out. But if she strikes here, she'll shoot 220. And then if Lane were to happen to, I don't know, be abducted by extraterrestrials in the next few seconds, we'd have a tie. But she gets 9, and that is going to mean Lane Gosser is our winner. He probably would have won anyway, but he just would have needed 1 pin in the 10th frame. And that would have done it right there. But either way, it's Lane Gosser who's moving on to match 3. But I tell you what, Layla's got to feel pretty good about her performance today. She won her first match. She puts up a 219 in defeat. That's not bad. 219's a win a lot of matches. But not when your opponent is throwing 250 at you. It'll be 259 if Lane strikes here on his fill ball. That's a heck of a way to let him know I came to play. Look at this. He gets 7. That's 256. That'll do. That'll definitely win some matches. So it's Lane Gosser who's moving on to match 3, where he'll face last month's winner in Division 4, Xander Yim, next. You know, there are lots of ways to support Prodigy Bowlers Tour. One way is to tell your friends about it, and even send a link to the show to friends who may not have seen it before. But if you want to go one step further and show a little financial support for all the work that goes into creating these episodes of the show, and each episode takes about 40 hours to edit, become a Prodigy patron. For just $5 a month, you get early access to each full-length episode of the show, at least a day or two before the episode goes public. And for just $10 a month, you not only get early access to each episode, but you also join the elite supporters of the show by getting your name in the show's closing credits as an executive producer. To become a Prodigy patron, go to www.patreon.com/Prodigy Bowlers Tour and follow the directions to become a patron. It's like throwing a little change into the guitar case of someone who's playing guitar on the street. Just a small way to show your appreciation for the work that goes into creating the art that you then get to enjoy. And you'll receive my undying gratitude for your kindness. Once again, go to www.patreon.com/Prodigy Bowlers Tour and become a Prodigy patron. Well, that's twice now that Layla Gonzalez has appeared on Prodigy. The first time she bowled all right, but just couldn't carry, so she came away understandably disappointed. But this time, she bowled great, and if it weren't for her opponent being on fire, she might have won another match. But as it is, Layla has to be pleased with her performance. Meanwhile, Lane Gosser seems to have caught lightning in a bottle, and so he's moving on to match 3 to face our 2-seed Xander Yim. Both of these players are red hot. Lane is coming off that 256 game, and Xander visited the winner's circle at last month's KCO in Division 4. Now that he's been re-rated up to Division 2, you might think he'd find the going a bit tougher. But no, here he is competing for another title today. We might see some sparks fly this match. Strap in. This should be fun. And as you can see, only 1 pin difference in their handicaps. Lane swings that one out to the right a little bit more and gets a good reaction. Trips the 4. So it's a strike to begin. Watch it again. This time he'll hit about 9 at the arrows, swings it out to about 8 at the tracers, and down they go. All right, Xander Yim, who starts way over on the left side of the approach. And as you can see, a two-hander that'll rev it up. And he gets him to scatter. see it again here. Hand under the ball when he releases it. That's the key to revving it up. Two strikes to start. Make that three. Here's his footwork. Five-step approach. Big drift to the left. Over the fourth arrow. Swings it out to about 8. And that was a freight train going through the pins. Lane just a little bit light with that one. Breaks down a tricky little spare, the 2-4-5, and now has only the 5 pin. Makes this spare a whole lot easier. His high game, a 269, high series, 729. Covers the spare with no problem. Well, as I mentioned earlier, he started bowling at the age of 2. His first league, he was just 3. Had to be a bumper bowling league. I haven't seen many 3-year-olds who can swing it. Oh my goodness, look at this. He collapses the 4-9. Must be living right. Watch it again. The 2 pin will go to the left wall and get the 4. I'm not sure what got the 9. Good fortune. All right, Xander working on a double. Oh, he pulled it. Got away with it. As you see him breathe a sigh of relief. He knew that was marginal as soon as it left his hand. I think we will see that he just goes around that one a little bit more. Got his hand out to the right side of the ball a little too quick. When that happens, you're practically guaranteed to pull it. Which he does. But guess what? There's no place on the score sheet for style points. It's not how, it's how many. Yeah, he puts that one right in the pocket and leaves the 10 pin, so no good deed goes unpunished. He'll go straight at it from the left side of the lane. Oh dear. Well, that wasn't close. So he lets Lane right back in the match. Now the difference, just 6 pins. Lane had a strike up. He could have taken the lead with another strike there in the 4th, but instead he goes fractionally high and leaves the 4 pin. Well, Lane Gosser also plays football and baseball. He is built solidly. Not surprised that he's an all-around good athlete. And he covers the 4 pin, no problem. Well, you see Kendall Cochran over on our right. That's the Division 5 group bowling over there. And to our left, that's Division 4. We'll recap how their step ladders play out when we get to the end of the show. Pulled another one. That time it went right through the nose. He's lucky he didn't leave the 3-6-7. But the 7 fell out. And he's left with just the 3-6. Now, I don't like the way he shoots this. He's playing it down the right side of the lane. That's just asking to chop it. I would strongly recommend he rethink that strategy in the future and move left when you shoot at 3-6 combinations like the 3-6 or 3-6-10 so that you narrow the gap between the pins from where you're shooting it, less likely to chop. Oh, hello, wall shot. Tell you what, with the kind of rev rate he has, I'm surprised the 4.57 was even thinking about standing. But the head pin will go to the left wall. The pin in front will go to the left wall and come back and get the 4, 5, and 7. The old Dick Weber wall shot. He made a career of it. Well, he gave that one plenty of room to the right. Problem is, when you send a ball that far to the right or to the left, if you're a left-hander, sometimes it'll use up all its energy before it gets to the pins. And that's what happened there, and so it deflected and left the 10 pin. And he makes a much better pass at the spare this time than when he shot it and missed it in the 4th frame. That'll lower his blood pressure a little bit. Now Lane Gosser up in the 6th. Boom. Tell you what, he stayed pretty cool all day today. See how he brings his left arm way out in front at the top of the swing? That is the modern technique. And then as the ball falls from the top of the swing, bring that left arm around to square up the shoulders. He does it beautifully. Well, he pulled it this time. Didn't do it so beautifully that time. Nobody's perfect. And now once again, he'll shoot that pesky 3-6-10. And again, he's going to play it down the right side of the lane. I don't love this. But I tell you what, that's the way he likes to play it. That's the way he's gotten used to playing it. And if he keeps making it, well, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But I wouldn't coach that method. All right, Xander, working on a spare. No, he fell off balance to the right that time a little bit. When you fall off balance, you also lose leverage at the release. So he didn't quite catch it all at the bottom of the swing. So the ball kind of labored and didn't quite make it back. And now he's got the 2-5, which he will shoot down the left side of the lane, which is the way I would recommend. Although I don't know that I would recommend sending it way out to the right like that. But again, these guys have their own way of doing it, and if it works, fantastic. But when you got the ball coming in toward the 2-5 from the far right side of the lane, it opens up the space between the pins wider, which just invites a chop. That's why I recommend throwing it straight down the left side at that. But now he can test that theory again here with the 3-6. Anytime you've got 2 pins side by side like this, at this sort of angle, you want to shoot it from the left side of the lane, go pretty straight at it. Yeah, like that. All right, Lane Gosser trailing by 4. He's trailed the whole match so far. Working on a spare. Boom. Watch this one again. Tell you what, he repeats his swing quite nicely, I have to say. He has improved quite a bit since the last time we saw him on Prodigy. Pulled that one, though. And once again, the 3-6 combination, this time with the 10. Once again, he's going to play it the way he likes to play it, down the right side of the lane. And this time he crosses over and gets away with it. Living dangerously. But he's still in it. And now Xander Yim leading by 4 with a spare up. He can just go off the sheet and win the match right here. Uh-oh. Instead, he sends it a little too wide. It doesn't recover. He loses 4 pins and count. That makes this match all even. And now he's got the washout. Got to get that ball on the left side of the head pin. Throw the 1 over into the 10. Let the ball get the 2 and the 4. But he gets too much of the head pin, and it's 9 out for an open frame, and all of a sudden he just handed an 11-pin lead to Lane Gosser as the two of them head into the 10th. Xander Yim can strike out in the 10th for 213. Lane Gosser going at a 214 pace, so this could still go either way. Oh, and a little overcompensation. Slowed his ball speed down a little bit that time, looked to me like. It hooks high, and he leaves the 310 baby split. Again, this is one you really want to throw straight at. Or if you've got a backup ball, even better. Put the ball on the right side of the 3. But no, he goes back-to-back opens to finish. And now Lane Gosser with a 22-pin lead. He doesn't even need a mark to win. He just needs good count. And that's pretty good count right there. That's enough to put this match away. So what an unfortunate ending to the match for Xander Yim. He led the whole way until that washout in the 9th washed him out. And Lane Gosser is going to be bowling for the championship. With a strike here, he'll finish with a 213. All right, we'll call it a 210. The players exchange handshakes, and Lane Gosser will now sit and wait for his next opponent, Caleb Standridge. The two of them will bowl for the title when we return. In 2016, when Prodigy Bowlers Tour was first launched, the kids on the show were just bowling for bragging rights. But a viewer of the show, Amanda Mayer, left a comment on one of the videos saying if there were an actual prize they were bowling for, you might get more kids to enter. And with that, the coveted trophy pin was born. On each show, the winner would sign the coveted trophy pin, and that tradition has continued until today. At the end of each season, we hold the Prodigy Bowlers Tour Tournament of Champions, or Prodigy TOC for short, and the winner claims the pin as their own. Early on in the show's history, some of our winners opted to give the pin away, but in recent years, the victors have figured if the coveted trophy pin is all that coveted, then why wouldn't I want to keep it? I wouldn't argue with them, and so they have kept it. There were a couple of years in there during the pandemic where we didn't award a coveted trophy pin. But here's the list of winners through the years. Charles Bostic in 2017, Peyton Smith in 2018, Nick Dissinger in 2019. Production of the show was suspended in 2020 due to the pandemic, so the 2019-2020 coveted trophy pin was orphaned mid-season. But just before I moved back to Kansas City from Atlanta in late 2021, we gave that final Atlanta coveted trophy pin to the winner of the Farewell Atlanta episode of the show, and that pin went to Hunter Moffett. In 2022, we shot and released our first Kansas City-based episode, the 2022 KCO Invitational, but there was no coveted trophy pin. Then, in the fall of 2022, when we started covering the KCO each month, a new coveted trophy pin was put in play, and in 2023, it was won by P.J. Dokalis. In 2024, Rhett Ryman was the first to break tradition and keep the coveted trophy pin when he won it. And in 2025, Eli Clinklin claimed the Prodigy TOC title, and along with it, the coveted trophy pin. Once again this season, all the winners at all the KCO tournaments throughout the current season are qualified to bowl in the 2026 Prodigy TOC, where the current coveted trophy pin will be claimed by the next Prodigy TOC winner. Xander Yim bowled a heck of a match. He led the whole way, right up until an open frame in the 9th handed the lead to Lane Gosser. And then another open in the 10th pretty much dashed all hopes of Xander winning in back-to-back months at the KCO. I'm sure he'll be reliving that catastrophic ending to the match, but he can take comfort from knowing that he proved himself just as capable of contending in Division 2 as he was last month in Division 4. But Lane Gosser got him at the end, and so Lane takes a 2-game winning streak into the championship match, where he'll now face our tournament leader, Caleb Standridge. Along the way of seizing the pole position in qualifying today, Caleb fired a 297 game that enabled him to leapfrog past a whole bunch of players in the field. What did he leave on the final ball? Well, you can see for yourself. Was it nerves? Maybe. Lane is looking to win on Prodigy for the first time, and Caleb is looking for his first tournament win of any kind. So I'd think nerves could play into it for either player, but one of them will overcome their nerves and emerge a champion. Which one will it be? We're about to find out. What I want to know is, when am I going to overcome my nerves? All right, these two both 15 years of age. This is Lane's first appearance at the KCO this season. Caleb bowled in the September KCO at Olathe Lanes East, where he finished 20th. And last month in Gladstone, he made the Stepladder finals, qualifying in the 4th position. He lost his match, finished 5th, but he's back. And this time he's the #1 seed. Both players getting 16 pins in handicap, so this is heads up. And looky here, we got a player in Caleb Standridge who just goes straight at him, testing the theory that straighter is greater. Tiny little steps to start, and then a big long slide. I like it. Yeah, Lane didn't like that one. He pulled it, but leaves an easy spare. The 5-pin, probably the easiest spare there is. Lane Gosser says his favorite pro bowler is Kyle Troop. He would like to join them on tour one of these days and become a pro bowler.
We were cheering for Layla earlier, too.
Covers the spare. Says his best moment in bowling is when he shot his high score. That was a 269. Tell you what, he got pretty close to it with that 256 in his first match on the show today. Says his favorite food is pizza.
What am I, chopped liver?
Oh my goodness. Well, you can't throw it much better than that. Lane with a stone 9. That'll teach you to hit the pocket. And he covers it, no muss, no fuss. Well, Caleb Standridge's high game of all time, he shot it today in qualifying. You saw the final ball of his 297. His high series, a 736. Says his favorite pro bowler is E.J. Tackett, a friend of the show. Well, he's wide right with that one. Sometimes straighter is not greater when it's straight away from the pocket. Here's how you make the washout. We saw Lane Gosser make the 1-2-7-10. The 1-2-4-10, pretty much the same shot. Throw the head pin over into the 10 and you'll be a happy camper. Look at this. These guys making it look a lot easier than it is. Watch it. He just moved his feet about 5 to 7 boards to the right, threw it over his strike target, and bingo. Well, Caleb said he's a pyrotechnic. Well, there were flashing lights over that one. And he comes right back with a dead, solid, perfect strike. Here's his footwork. See how tiny his steps are, and then a long slide. Beautifully done. Well, Lane crosses over with that one and leaves the 5. We've seen this a couple of times already today. And I'm going to show you something about his swing that I think if he works on this, he can improve. Watch what happens with his swing. At the top of the swing, see where the ball is? It's left of his head. But then, as it starts down, it bounces out. Now it's to the right of his head. And when he swings down, he comes across his body from out to in. Ideally, you'd like the backswing and the downswing to both be on the same swing plane. Or drop the ball to the inside coming down. He drops it to the outside coming down, and that can really cause problems, as we have seen him pull a number of shots today. That might be why. But he's clean through 3 frames. 9 spare, 9 spare, 9 spare. And a nice relaxed shot that time. Finds the pocket and slaps out the 10. Watch this one. Oh, he moved way in. Over 14 at the arrows. Only swung it out to about 12 or 13. And the 6-pin chops out the 10. Caleb on a strike. But he's wide with another one. This time it gets a piece of the head pin. But he still leaves a pesky little spare. The 2-4-5 can be challenging in its own way. Just got to be careful and not chop the 2 off the 5. Put the ball on the 2-5, you'd be all right. About like that. Good shot. Well, Caleb says he wants to be a software engineer when he grows up. I think that's a field that will just keep growing and growing. Well, he pulled it. And he got away with it. Because he throws it so straight, it didn't really move off the line he started it on. But I'll bet if we can see it in slow motion, we might see that, yep, his right shoulder passed his left. You see the left arm is behind his back. And when the right shoulder passes the left on a right-handed player, you're going to pull it every single time. Oh, my. You'll hardly ever see the 8-10 anymore. You used to see it occasionally. The pros would leave an 8-10 when they threw the ball a little too hard, or there was a lot of oil on the lanes. But they were throwing hard rubber bowling balls that weren't built to hook like today's modern equipment. Nowadays, you almost never see it. Not much you can do with it. Just take one, hope it bounces out. It didn't, so it's an open frame, and Lane Gosser falls 14 pins in arrears halfway through the championship match. Fortunately for Lane, Caleb hasn't been able to put together any strings of strikes yet. Look out, that's high. Could have been a split. He's just got to let the ball fall from the top of the swing, let gravity initiate the downswing, and resist the temptation of pulling it down from the top. The other thing Lane can work on is keeping his right elbow in close to his torso. That'll help to correct his tendency to bounce the swing out to the outside from the top of the swing. Just keep that elbow in close to your body. Well, I tell you what, Caleb almost left an 8-10 on that same right lane. Gotta wonder if maybe there's a bad rack. That is unusual. Or, in Caleb's case, we might say that is somewhat peculiar, since he's from peculiar Missouri. Look out. Well, there's 39 boards on a bowling lane, and he used every one of them. But it's a spare. And if he weren't bowling with a handicap, he'd be on pace for a Dutch 200. Strike, spare, strike, spare, strike, spare. He's up on his good lane now. But that one a little wide of the mark. He didn't hit quite as high flush as he did on the first three of this game. And so with the speed he throws it at and the relatively lower rev rate, the ball didn't finish deflecting around the 5, but it's an easy spare. And he has no problem with it. But Caleb owns a 13-pin lead, and Lane needs to string a couple to get back in it. Well, he sent that one a little wide, and it didn't pick up like sometimes they do when they go out there. And he leaves the bucket. The 2, 4, 5, 8. And boy, this spare is no bargain. Got to put the ball on the 2, 5, let the ball drive through and get the 8. That's perfectly done. That is just the way you draw it up. Well, I'll remind you once again, that precious little girl that just picked up that spare on the right lane, she's in Division 5, Kendall Cochran. Over on the left are our Division 4 finalists. We'll tell you how their stepladders play out when we get to the end, as we just saw Lane Gosser go right through the nose again, and his luck has run out. Now he's got the Greek Church, the 4, 6, 7, 9, 10. 2 schools of thought on it. You can throw it over to the right side to get the count. But I always say, if you gotta make it, go for the 2 on the left. You have better odds, especially if you don't throw the ball super hard. And Lane doesn't, but he's gonna go for the 3 on the right. And he ends up with an open frame, 8 out. So Caleb Standridge's lead now 34 pins as he is in the driver's seat. As he gets up to bowl here in the 8th frame. But that one's wide right, as both players seem to have lost their looks. Caleb loses 4 pins in count, but this is not the hardest spare there is to make. Just let the ball drift over to the left side of the head pin, and you should make the 1, 2, 4, 8. Just like that. That was letter perfect. Just like that. All right. 30-pin lead, 2 frames left. Just stay out of trouble. Okay. Light hit leaves just the 2 pin. Caleb going at a 2:10 pace. If he finishes spare, strike, spare, he'd finish with 2:10. Lane can strike out for 2:01. So Caleb's job here is to just stay clean the rest of the way. Oh, my. Well, you don't expect to miss a 2-pin. And now, all of a sudden, this is a match. If Lane strikes out for 2:01, he'll force Caleb to double in the 10th to beat him. There's the first one he needs. This match is not over. But Lane must strike in the 10th and 11th to force Caleb to double. Watch the 2-pin go between the 4 and 7. Gets them both out. But now here's the most important ball he's thrown all day. This to give himself a chance to win. Oh, no. The 4-7-10. Now if he makes this and strikes on the fill, the best he can hope for is 181. Caleb already has 179 in the 9th. Here's how Charles Bostic shot the 4-7-10.
Charlie trying to hope for a miracle here. Oh! Well, his prayers are answered.
Well, I'm not sure what the likelihood of Lane's prayers being answered here. He had to make it and hope for a miracle, but he opens in the 10th, and Caleb Standridge has won the Division II championship at the November KCO. And he doesn't need any pins in the 10th frame. And he gets 8. So after finishing 5th 1 month ago in Gladstone at the October KCO, qualifying 4th, losing his match, finishing 5th, he's back, and he goes 1st through qualifying and 1st after the step ladder, and he's your champion today at the Kansas City Open. How about that? That punches his ticket into the Prodigy TOC in June. We'll get Caleb to sign the coveted trophy pin next. To keep up with all things Prodigy year-round, join the Prodigy Bowlers Tour Facebook group. It's absolutely free, and you'll get behind-the-scenes info about the show and some of the players you see bowling on it. Plus, you'll get the occasional sneak peek at what's coming on future episodes, and you'll stay informed about where the next episode stands in the creation process. From any page on Facebook, type the words Prodigy Bowlers Tour into the search bar and hit enter. That'll take you to the page where you can submit a request to join the Prodigy Facebook group. You'll be presented with 3 simple screening questions. Be sure to answer them. If you don't, we'll assume the request to join the group is coming from a spam bot, and you'll be denied access. Nobody wants spam bots in the group. So just follow the simple directions and answer the 3 screening questions, and we'll see you on Facebook. While I'm sure Lane Gosser is disappointed that the championship match didn't go his way, he had a heck of a run today. He qualified in 3rd position, won 2 stepladder matches, fired a 256 on Prodigy, bowled in the final match, and finished 2nd. All in all, I'd say it was a wildly successful day for Lane Gosser. But Caleb Standridge bowled just a little bit better in the final match. And after tossing that 297 game earlier in the day to seize the #1 position, I'd say Caleb ought to be over the moon with excitement over his stellar performance today. Unfortunately, we had some technical problems with the sound on the recording of our winner interviews today, so we won't be able to enjoy what Caleb had to say. But as you can see, he did sign the coveted trophy pin and is now eligible for the season-ending Prodigy Bowlers Tour Tournament of Champions in June. More about that as the date draws nearer. But suffice it to say, I think Caleb is a happy boy as the Division II Championship round at the 2025 KCO November Point Tournament drew to a close. As I mentioned earlier during our coverage, the players bowling in the periphery to our left were the Division IV finalists. Here's how their stepladder played out. In match 1, the 4 seed, Maddox Page, defeated the 5 seed, Emma Lorenzas, 236 to 206. That sent Maddox into match 2, where the 3 seed, Mason Meyer, beat him 227 to 161. Mason is a girl who converted from one-handed to two-handed about 6 months ago and is reaping the benefits. In match 3, Mason won again, this time defeating the 2 seed, Adrian Rockstead, by a score of 203 to 158. And in the championship match, the tournament leader, Vincent Collins, who you've seen on Prodigy before and who has obviously shown tremendous improvement since the last time we saw him, fired a strong 225 in the title match, but it wasn't quite enough to hold off Mason Meyer as she prevailed with a 234. So congratulations to Mason Meyer on winning the title in Division IV today. Then, as I mentioned earlier, the bowlers in the periphery to our right were the Division V finalists. Here's how their stepladder played out. In the opening match, the number 4 qualifier, Kanan Duncan, who you saw on our Division V show last month, defeated the 5 seed, Milo Downs, 181 to 147. But in match 2, Kanan ran into a highly motivated Brianna Wanina, who won 188 to 154. Then in match 3, Brianna met the 2 seed, Little Kendall Cochran, and it was Kendall who eked out a close win, 152 to 150. And in the championship match between 2 of the littlest players in the entire tournament, it was Kendall Cochran who defeated the tournament leader, Noah Nelson, who was bowling in his very first tournament ever. The final score, Kendall 166 and Noah 115. So congratulations to Kendall Cochran for taking the title in Division V today. On the next episode of Prodigy Bowlers Tour, you'll see the Division I championship round from this same 2025 KCO November Point Tournament at Royal Crest Lanes in Lawrence, Kansas. If you'd like to bowl in an upcoming KCO, visit their website at www.kansascityopen.com. There you'll find the rules and everything you'll need to enter. Once again, it's www.kansascityopen.com. So, until we meet again on episode 200, this is Coach Randy reminding you to stay behind the foul line and keep kicking out the corner pins, not the foul lights and ball returns. And I'll talk to you again in about a week from right here in Lawrence, Kansas. Until then, go get your bowl on.